Jesus is alive. That's the end of that particular chorus. Good morning, everybody. And oh my goodness me, what a beautiful day it is. So you'll be watching this on Wednesday, but I'm recording this just after playtime on Tuesday. And it's been so lovely today to be enjoying this wonderful spring weather. I've got my windows open in the office and I can hear the birds singing from here. I don't know whether you might be able to hear children playing and the birds. Let's have a really good listen. Can you hear them? And it just makes me so glad to be alive and so appreciative of the spring weather. And it was lovely this morning seeing you all come into school, and some of you had your sunglasses on, some of you had caps on, which is really good to protect your head from the heat of the sun. And some of you, this was really nice, girls, you'd gone for a summer dress today, which was really nice, maybe for the first time. Some girls and boys had shorts on, and some people had their little blue and white summer dresses on, so that was really lovely to see that, and made me feel like spring is definitely coming, and then summer's after spring, isn't it? But we've got so much to enjoy. So I thought we'd spend today's assembly just thinking about what we often think of as one of the main symbols of Easter. We've had the Easter story from the Bible, and then we're going to think about where eggs fit in, because eggs are what most of us might associate Easter with. And what do you think that the eggs at Easter represent? I think it's a whole number of things, actually. I think that eggs, whether they are chocolate or painted eggs or actual eggs with little chicks inside, the first and most important thing about eggs, and the reason we use them to symbolise Easter, is the idea of spring and new life, because there's nothing that says new life so much as an egg. It's a perfect symbol, isn't it, of good things to come, and of new life and new beginnings. I think there are other things as well. Do you remember in the Easter story when... I'm not sure there's a picture in this book, actually. I'll just get one from outside. Don't go anywhere. Wait there. Wait. I'll be 1 minute. I'm back. Just had to nip out to the display out there. Do you remember the picture of the tomb where Jesus was buried before he rose again? Let me see if I can find it here. After he was crucified. Yeah. Do you remember the picture of the tomb in this book? Well, some people say that the tradition of eggs comes because eggs look a little bit like the shape of the stone that was rolled in front of the tomb and then was rolled away in the next morning. I don't know whether there's another picture in this Easter story book. Oh, there we go. So a different version of events. So maybe that's got to do with it as well. But I think mainly probably Easter is about new life. If you're a Christian, it's about the fact that Jesus rose again. That's all about new life, isn't it? And if people aren't Christians, then they still like to celebrate with Easter eggs, because it's just about looking forward to the good things that we have to come. And speaking of eggs, the birds have moved on. They have been round and about feeding away at my bird feeders, and I'm sure your bird feeders and round and about, and certainly in Freya's garden, they've been on that bird table a lot. And something's happened just in the last day or two, which is they've gone from feeding, they're still doing quite a lot of feeding, but they've definitely started nesting. I was walking past Freya's garden, I think I've taken something to the bin, and was walking on the way past, and I was interrupted by a lady blackbird who kind of pushed forward in front of me on the path with her mouth full of twigs and mud, and she flew into the little bush just at the side of Freya's garden with her beak full, and I thought, that's not food, that is for nesting. So I think that she might be building a nest there. And then at the weekend, Mrs. Jennings sent me 2 videos from somewhere that some of you will have been. You will know exactly what I'm talking about. Shibden Park. And at the moment, there is a nesting swan who's made a really big nest, because swans are big birds. They need a big nest on the little island part of Shibden Park. And she's made a beautiful, I mean, it blows my mind how birds know how to make these nests, but she's made a really beautiful one. And so Mrs. Jennings sent me a picture of her tending her nest and making sure it was just absolutely perfect. And then also of some, and I'm going to say coots. I get coots and moorhens a little bit mixed up. One of them's got like a reddy beak and one of them's got a white beak. I think it might have been coots, but you need to have a little look and see if I'm right. There's a pair of coots, little ducks, on the Shibden Lake, and one of them has nested, and it's a beautiful video. And I like to think it was the boy one. The female was probably on the nest, and then the boy one in Mrs. Jennings' video swam off across the lake, came back with a beautiful piece of twig in his mouth, in his beak, came back, gave it to Mrs. Female Coot, who bobbed it into the nest, and then Male Coot swam off again to go get another piece. So the birds are really, really busy, which is a good thing. It makes us all feel lovely, doesn't it? And the other thing, of course, is it's all to do with Lent. Do you remember we talked about Lent? And Easter is linked with when Pancake Day is, and then Pancake Day was all about using up all of the good stuff, all of the eggs, and the flour and the butter and the fat and things like that, and then having a bit of a fast for 40 days, so where maybe we don't eat that kind of thing. So a lot of Christians will have given up chocolate and things like that for 40 days and be very much looking forward to Easter Sunday when they can enjoy that again. So it's also got that connection too. Now, I've just found this really simple book, of which I have to say the text inside is really simple, but I think it's worth it just for the cover, because that cover just says Easter to me. I love all those colours. Spring colours and Easter colours are some of my favourite. But I will just read it to you. It only take a second. So Easter is a festival. What is a festival? A festival is a time when people come together to celebrate. And Christians, people celebrate Easter in the spring. All over the world, Christian people and Christian communities celebrate Easter. The story of Easter, we know this now. Christian people believe Jesus is the Son of God. Jesus taught people to be kind and peaceful. There he is as a young man, telling stories, performing his miracles. Some leaders did not like what he taught, and Jesus was killed. And we learned that last time, didn't we? Christian people believe Jesus then came back to life. They believe that this shows God's love for them. So the fact that Jesus died on the cross shows God's love for us all. That's what Christian people might think. What happens at Easter? Before Easter, some people celebrate Mardi Gras or Pancake Day. They eat up the foods that they plan to give up for Lent. Yeah, and that was all 40 days ago now that we talked about Pancake Day, and I showed you making my pancakes. Lent lasts for 40 days, and Lent is a time to think and pray. Really important time. On Good Friday, and that's this Friday, the Friday coming, the Friday when you're at home and I'm at home, people remember the day that Jesus died. So that's what happened in the Easter story on Good Friday. That was the day when Jesus died. And that's when I shall be eating a hot cross bun, because that's why we have hot cross buns with a cross on, to remind us of the Easter story. And on Easter Sunday, people remember the day Jesus came back to life. And that's why we have our Easter eggs on Easter Sunday. Some people sing happy songs in church on Easter Sunday, and some people watch Easter parades in lots of places in Europe, like Spain and Greece. Quite a lot of European countries with big Christian communities would have, in normal times, I'm not sure what they do during COVID times, they would have a big parade, and it's a really important part of the year is the Easter festival. Some people light special candles. Some people decorate Easter eggs. Eggs are a sign of new life. Oh, that makes me want to just paint some eggs. And there they are, eggs with chicks. No better sign of spring than that picture there. I think that's the end of this little book. Yes, it is. So there we go. So it'll be our last assembly of the term tomorrow, but just a nice springtime, full of egg time assembly for you today. I hope you get a little bit of Easter chocolate this holiday to enjoy, but just think about what the chocolate represents and what the eggs represent whilst you're enjoying them. Have a lovely day. I hope the sun's still shining when you watch this, and enjoy the springtime for everything that it brings to us. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.